silence all cell phones and other electronic devices for the duration of the ceremony. In consideration of those around you, we ask that you please remain seated and in the bleachers during the ceremony until all soldiers have passed the reviewing stand and the conclusion of the ceremony is announced.
You get a shot of like
On behalf of the Commanding General, Brigadier General Milford Beagle Jr., and the Post Command Sergeant Major Jeremiah E. Gann, welcome to the United States Army Training Center and Fort Jackson for the graduation of Companies A, B, C, D, and E from the 4th Battalion, 39th Infantry Regiment, 165th Infantry Brigade. Please stand for the invocation given by Chaplain Moses.
Let us pray. Dear God, thank you for this day of celebration. Again, I invite your presence here on graduation day. We acknowledge your hand in guiding, strengthening, and encouraging each of these soldiers standing here today. We are grateful as well for the dedication of all the staff and cadre for their support and diligent instruction as they have shaped these men and women into proud soldiers. They are now ready to execute any mission given them to defend this great country. Please let the lessons from basic training follow and prepare them for their next assignments in the Army, and instill a sense of pride at the privilege of serving their country. Thank you, Lord, for your presence here today, and with each soldier as they move ahead to their next mission. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Please be seated. The purpose of today's ceremony is to recognize the commitment of the men and women you see standing in formation before you today who have chosen to serve their country as soldiers. This review is the last official formation of the training cycle. Not everyone successfully completes the difficult period of training, but those in formation today represent disciplined, motivated, physically fit soldiers who exemplify the Army's 7 core values: loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. They are imbued with the warrior ethos and display the tenets of putting the mission first, never accepting defeat, never quitting, and never leaving behind a fallen comrade. This is an important day, and these soldiers take great pride in their accomplishments. To the parents, families, and friends of these soldiers, Fort Jackson extends a very warm and sincere welcome. We are justifiably proud of them and are equally honored that they have chosen to join our ranks. Please direct your attention to the left of the formation. The units marching today from your left to right are the 282nd Army Band under the direction of Chief Warrant Officer 3, George T. Bauer. Graduating soldiers from Companies A, B, the Battalion Color Guard, and graduating soldiers from Companies C, D, and D. Identified by their distinctive headgear are the drill sergeants. These dedicated non-commissioned officers form the backbone of the Army's training center system, selected based on professional competence, leadership ability, and years of service. These men and women undergo intensive training to earn the right to wear the distinctive hat and insignia. With the drill sergeant hat goes the important responsibility of molding civilian men and women into soldiers. The commander of troops for today's ceremony is Major Taylor Sibley, who serves as the executive officer for the 4th Battalion, 39th Infantry Regiment. He and the battalion staff are positioned on the field.
Down, attention!
The reviewing officer of today's graduation is the commander of the 4th Battalion, 39th Infantry Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Patrick D. Collins. On his left is Command Sergeant Major Russell Keller, the senior non-commissioned officer, master trainer, and principal advisor to the commander.
Down, get on! Sir, the hardcore battalion is forward! No slack. Down, order!
The commander of troops will now bring forward the colors and persons to be honored. soldiers coming forward will be recognized for their excellence in training and duty performance and serve as examples to all. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the national anthem. It is appropriate for soldiers in uniform and all armed forces veterans to salute the American flag. We ask our civilian guests to please remove your headgear and place your right hand over your heart as our national anthem is played.
Attachment, reset, arm.
Lieutenant Colonel Collins and Command Sergeant Major Keller will now present the awards. The outstanding drill sergeant of the Cycle for Alpha Company is Drill Sergeant Justin Margarvi from Maputo, Mozambique. The soldier leader of the Cycle for Alpha Company is Specialist Hardy McKinney from Reno, Nevada. The soldier of the Cycle for Alpha Company is Specialist Bruce Bertry from Long Island, New York. The outstanding drill sergeant of the Cycle for Bravo Company is Drill Sergeant Jordan Steinman from Nashville, Ohio. The soldier leader of the Cycle for Bravo Company is Private Tabitha Newland from Greencastle, Pennsylvania. The soldier of the Cycle for Bravo Company is Private K.L. Robidart from Greeley, Colorado. The outstanding drill sergeant of the Cycle for Charlie Company is Drill Sergeant Melissa Huerta from Inglewood, California. The soldier leader of the Cycle for Charlie Company is Specialist Joseph Toomey from Tampa, Florida. The soldier of the Cycle for Charlie Company is Private Darius Hammond from Miami, Florida. The outstanding drill sergeant of the Cycle for Delta Company is Drill Sergeant Dilbus Natal from Marine Drive, Guam. The outstanding soldier leader of the Cycle for Delta Company is Private Sandro Villalona from Bronx, New York. The soldier of the Cycle for Delta Company is Private Dawson Gresh from Yorba Linda, California. The outstanding drill sergeant of the cycle for Echo Company is Drill Sergeant Jacqueline Brown from Akron, Ohio. The outstanding leader of the cycle for Echo Company is Specialist Amanda White from Chalice, Washington. Our soldier of the cycle for Echo Company is Private First Class Jesse Liguska from Brooklyn, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the 4th Battalion, 39th Infantry Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Patrick G. Collins.
All right, let's give another round of applause to our awardees. All right, it's time to talk it out. How's family day? All right, did you guys enjoy your time? Were they a little bit more confident when they spoke?
Yes, sir.
Did they look physically stronger?
Yes,
Did they stand up straight? All right, speak with authority and conviction? All right, well, for those who didn't, the Army has a pretty reasonable return policy. Take her back for another 10 weeks and we'll work it out. Welcome to this morning's ceremony. We're about to see how effective of a trainer I am. Welcome to Fort Jackson, the Army's premier training center, and where we like to say, victory! Start here! That was pretty good. I think we can do a little bit better though. Let's try it again. Welcome to Fort Jackson, the Army's premier training center, and where we like to say, victory! Start here! All right, very good. I'd like to recognize our commanding general, Brigadier General Beagle, Post Command Sergeant Major Gann, Colonel Flesh, the 165th Brigade, Commander, and Command Sergeant Major Whetstone. Thank you for coming. Finally, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all other distinguished guests and friends of the Hardcore Battalion. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the 282nd Army Band, who always puts on a great performance and is clearly one of the finest military bands in the country. Let's give them a round of applause. The soldiers standing in front of you today represent the 30 million military-age residents of the United States. Those are the 18 to 27-year-olds that represent our recruiting pool. However, not everybody can serve. In fact, less than 1 in 4 are physically, mentally, or morally eligible to serve in our armed forces. And in the end, less than 1 in 100 ever does. I asked this yesterday, but if you are a former or current service member, please stand and be recognized. Those individuals represent the reason why our Army is so great. Ladies and gentlemen, standing in front of you is the top 1%. They represent our nation's best. They come from big cities like New York, Chicago, and Baltimore. They come from small rural towns like Hazard, Kentucky, Truth and Consequence, New Mexico, and Nome, Alaska. They come from foreign countries like Myanmar, Nepal, Zimbabwe, Ukraine, and Egypt. Many of them have advanced degrees or left jobs where they served as police officers, firemen, or were students in college. Yet they chose to give that up and to serve our country. This is but a small taste of the sacrifices that this generation is prepared to make to defend our values and freedoms. These soldiers are the guardians of our future. They are part of that long line of warriors that have committed themselves to supporting and defending the Constitution of the United States of America. As I mentioned yesterday during Family Day, Fort Jackson has been training soldiers for over 100 years. Since then, those soldiers have served in every major conflict that our nation has been in, and they forged the very fabric of our free society. Your soldiers, standing in front of you this morning, represent everything that is good about our nation. They are professionals of the highest order and are trained, educated, and committed to upholding the Army values. Every single one of them raised their hands and volunteered, many for different reasons. Some for better opportunities, some for love of country, and some because of family tradition. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter why they joined. All that matters is that they did join. These soldiers in front of you have sworn an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. They have willingly agreed to place the needs of others before the needs of themselves. The 16th century writer and preacher John Bunyan once wrote, "You have not lived today until you have done something for someone who can never repay you." This is the life of an American soldier, to take care of those who cannot protect themselves. In a moment, you will hear them recite the Soldier's Creed. And you will hear them say, "I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life." This is their pledge, their oath to you as a U.S. soldier, that they will never quit, never falter, and never give up on you. To the soldiers of 439 Infantry, I want to congratulate you on your accomplishment. You have entered into a new and exciting chapter of your life. The Army you have joined is the most powerful force for good on earth. Strive every day to make it better. And strive every day to make yourselves better. One day we'll run into each other again somewhere on the battlefield or at some training center, and my expectation is that you will be constantly pursuing perfection to find sustained excellence along the way. Let me leave you with one final thought as you start your new journey. A soldier's life is never easy. You will never be famous. You will undoubtedly serve in some remote area around the world. Many of our citizens will never understand the personal sacrifices you and your family will be required to make in order to preserve the American way of life. But in the end, when our Maker calls us forward to our final toe of the line, I want you to look back with a sense of pride and say, "I helped bring light into the dark, order to chaos, and ensure liberty never perished from the earth. I was, am, and will always be an American soldier." Good luck, hardcore, strike strong, and victory!
Start here!
Today's soldier is, above all, a warrior, adaptive, confident, and confident. As a soldier, you are totally committed to the warrior ethos, grounded in Army values, and determined to destroy the enemies of the United States of America and their allies. The United States Army Soldier's Creed embodies this commitment. The uniform you wear at this moment is more than an outward display of your vocation of choice. Your uniform is a symbol of a nation, and an unspoken assurance to all who see you that you are willing and able to protect the freedom fought so arduously for, by all who have gone before, and those who will bravely come after. You have become what you set out to be, a soldier in the United States Army. The Soldier's Creed is your declaration of your unshakable commitment to the ideals this nation was founded upon and will continue to guarantee. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Private Sandra Villalona from Delta Company leads the soldier standing before you to the reciting of the Soldier's Creed.
Ready to go!
consideration of those around you, we ask that you please remain seated and in the bleachers until all soldiers have passed their reviewing stand and the conclusion of the ceremony is announced. As you are approached by the American flag, it is appropriate to rise and remain standing until it has passed to your right. Once the ceremony has concluded, family members of the awardees may meet their soldiers under the canopy located to the left of the bleachers. All other family members and friends, please meet your soldiers to the far right of the bleachers at the end of the parade field.
This thing needs to be solid.
Passing the reviewing stand is the commander of troops, Major Taylor Sibley from Signal Mountain, Tennessee, and the battalion staff. First Lieutenant Joshua Harley from Jackson, Michigan. Third platoon is led by First Lieutenant Courtney Hall from Powell, Texas. Sergeant Roderick Stewart from Forsyth, Georgia. In the rear of the formation is the First Sergeant. First Sergeant Camille Lara from Miami, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are approached by the American flag, it is appropriate to rise and remain standing so that is back to your right. Company B is commanded by Captain Joshua Fleming from Charlotte, North Carolina. First Two is led by First Lieutenant Tyler Rodriguez from Cleveland, New Jersey, and Joe Louisa Chicago from Dominican Republic. First Lieutenant Craig Johnson from Rayford, North Carolina, and Joe Hardy Armstrong from Logan, Utah. First platoon is led by Joe Sergeant Eric Wiley from Savannah, Missouri. Second Lieutenant K.R. Troutwine from Loveland, Colorado, and Drill Sergeant Jamie Robinson from Manassas, Virginia. In the rear of the formation is the First Sergeant. First Sergeant Lawrence Coleman from Irmo, South Carolina. Led by First Lieutenant Eric Wadsworth from Cleveland, Ohio, and Joe Scott Randall from Richmond, Maine. Wisconsin. Second platoon is led by First Lieutenant Riley Robb from Spokane, Washington. Led by First Lieutenant Matthew Detroit from Annapolis, Maryland, and Drill Sergeant Justine Vieira from Sacramento, California. Fourth platoon led by Drill Sergeant Tara Haywood from Gadsden, South Carolina, and Drill Sergeant Daniel Rivera from San Juan, Puerto Rico. In the rear of the formation is the First Sergeant. First Sergeant Justin Pugh from Kingsport, Tennessee. platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Jesus Polito from Rheinau, Austria. Baumgartner from Oakland, California, and Drill Sergeant Joseph Parks from Santa Maria, California. Fourth platoon is led by First Lieutenant Nick Smith from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Drill Sergeant Joseph Del Torre from Eva Beach, Hawaii. In the rear, the formation is the First Sergeant Ben Kirby from Columbia, Missouri. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Army song and please remain in the bleachers until the conclusion of the ceremony is announced. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Family members of awardees, please meet your soldiers under the canopy to the left of the bleachers. All other family members.
Listen close, and you will hear them say, "I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life." This is their pledge, their oath to you as a U.S. soldier, that they will never quit, never falter, and never give up on you. To the soldiers of 439 Infantry, I want to congratulate you on your accomplishment. You have entered into a new and exciting chapter of your life. The Army you have joined is the most powerful force for good on earth. Strive every day to make it better. And strive every day to make yourselves better. One day we'll run into each other again somewhere on the battlefield or at some training center. And my expectation is that you will be constantly pursuing perfection to find sustained excellence along the way. Let me leave you with one final thought as you start your new journey. A soldier's life is never easy. You will never be famous. You will undoubtedly serve in some remote area around the world. Many of our citizens will never understand the personal sacrifices you and your family will be required to make in order to preserve the American way of life. But in the end, when our Maker calls us forward to our final toe of the line, I want you to look back with a sense of pride and say, "I helped bring light into the dark, order to chaos, and ensure liberty never perished from the earth. I was, am, and will always be an American soldier." Good luck, hardcore, strike strong, and victory!
Start here!
the warrior ethos, grounded in Army values, and determined to destroy the enemies of the United States of America and their allies. The United States Army Soldiers Creed embodies this commitment. The uniform you wear at this moment is more than an outward display of your vocation of choice. Your uniform is a symbol of a nation, and an unspoken assurance to all see you that you are a willing and able protector of the freedom fought so arduously for by all who have gone before and those who will bravely come after. You have become what you set out to be, a soldier in the United States Army. The Soldier's Creed is your declaration of your unshakable commitment to the ideals this nation was founded upon and will continue to guarantee. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Private Sandra will be alone up from Delta Company. Lead the soldier standing before you to the reciting of the Soldier's Creed. In consideration of those around you, we ask that you please remain seated and in the bleachers until all soldiers have passed their relieving stand and the conclusion of the ceremony is announced. As you are approached by the American flag, it is appropriate to rise and remain standing until it has passed to your right. Once the ceremony has concluded, family members of the awardees may meet their soldiers under the canopy located to the left of the bleachers. All other family members and friends, please meet your soldier to the far right of the bleachers at the end of the parade field.
This thing needs to be solid.
Passing the reviewing stand is the commander of troops, Major Taylor Sibley from Signal Mountain, Tennessee, and the battalion staff. George C. Powell from Princeton, First Lieutenant Joshua Harley from Jackson, Michigan. Third platoon is led by First Lieutenant Courtney Hall from Powell, Texas. Fourth platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Roderick Stewart from Forsyth, Georgia. In the rear of the formation is a First Sergeant. First Sergeant Camille Lara from Miami, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are approached, the American flag is appropriate to rise and remain standing so that it's back to your right. Company B is commanded by Captain Joshua Fleming from Charlotte, North Carolina. First platoon is led by First Lieutenant Tyler Leslie from Cleveland, New Jersey, and Joe Louisa Chicago from Dominican Republic. Second platoon is led by First Lieutenant Craig Johnson from Rayford, North Carolina, and Joe Harvey Norton from Logan, Utah. Platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Eric Wiley from Savannah, Missouri. Fourth platoon is led by Second Lieutenant Keon Troutwine from Loveland, Colorado, and Drill Sergeant Jamie Robinson from Manassas, Virginia. In the rear of the formation is the First Sergeant. First Sergeant Lawrence Coleman from Irmo, South Carolina. Company C is commanded by Captain Phil Turner from Phoenix, Arizona. First platoon is led by First Lieutenant Jonathan Gonzalez from Texas, and First Sergeant Second platoon is led by First Lieutenant Lindsay Radcliffe from New York, Pennsylvania, and First Sergeant Andre Ellison from Nuremberg, Germany. Platoon led by First Lieutenant Eric Wadsworth from Cleveland, Ohio, and Joe Sergeant Scott Randall from Richmond, Maine.
Sit down!
Riley Ross from Spokane, Washington. Third platoon is led by First Lieutenant Matthew Vito from Annapolis, Maryland, and Drill Sergeant Justine Riera from Sacramento, California. Led by Drill Sergeant Tara Haywood from Gadsden, South Carolina, and Drill Sergeant Daniel Rivera from San Juan, Puerto Rico. In the rear of the formation is the First Sergeant. First Sergeant Justin Pugh from Kingsport, Tennessee. Captain Jason Lally from Avon, Connecticut. First platoon is led by First Lieutenant Nate Woodster from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, and Drill Sergeant Brad Irvin from Maplewood, Minnesota. Second platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Jesus Polito from Glenau, Austria. Baumgartner from Oakland, California, and Drill Sergeant Joseph Birch from Santa Maria, California. Fourth platoon is led by First Lieutenant Nick Smith from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Drill Sergeant Joseph Del Torre from Eva Beach, Hawaii. In the rear of the formation is the First Sergeant. First Sergeant Ben Kirby from Columbia, Missouri. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Army song and please remain in the bleachers until the conclusion of the ceremony is announced. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Family members of awardees, please meet your soldiers on the